So my wife's definition of friendship is different, very deep. I have never in my life met anybody with a deep perspective to friendship like my wife. The day my wife defined who a friend is to me. And if my wife calls herself your friend, sir, you can take it to the bank. She would die for you. My wife's definition of a friend on a different level. Because her exposure got her to meet to people who say this, they never mean what they say. So she's not impressed with words, because what she did not see are people who modeled what they said. So my wife is not the type that will respect me because I'm her husband or I'm Reverend Sam. So the only reason my wife respects me is because I command that respect. So not because I'm a husband though. Not because I am Reverend Sam. So I command my wife's respect, and I know I do. So because I deserve it. I have never given a reason to look at me and disrespect me. And I will never do that. Never. You understand that? My wife is the type that will look at her father, straight to my father's face, and say, Baba, you just lied. The father knows her. In fact, the only thing he told her when she was going to marry, he said, look, don't undo me like you undo, don't undo him like you undo me. She would tell her father to his face. So my wife is not the type that will look at you and say, because you are in you. That one thing my wife, I can tell you about, she fears nobody. You can't wear uniform and threaten my wife. You are a policeman. You stop. Dan can tell you. We're heading to the airport. Were you there with us? It was Dan that was. Where's Dan? We're heading to the airport. Policemen were trying to misbehave on the road. My wife was going to, I said, sweetheart, my wife will confront. Who are you? So it's very critical for us as men to make sure that we don't just focus on providing what? By the way, what do you do? Look at the marriages we're looking at. Lawyer, 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 lawyer. There's another one here. Lawyer, lawyer. Okay? And there are some of us here. You are business owners. Your husbands are working class people. You make more money than your husband. Am I correct? There are people who are making, there's a small girl in our church who makes as much as $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Tell me, where will our husband get that kind of income from per month? So somebody is going to marry that girl. How do you call yourself husband, if money is the only thing you provide? So women are looking for more than this now. Women are looking for more than man who can provide money. You should provide money, but women are looking for more than this. They are looking for a man who can also what? Communicate. A man who can also sexual intimacy, everything around it. Communication, intimacy, caressing, romance, and the rest of that. So sir, thank God for you who is committed to becoming better. Please, let's get better by adding these other things. They protect our love. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I need to run out of
sent this. How do I show my partner that accountability is important in a marriage? 2, as a couple, I believe in having mentors that we can look up to and freely speak to, but my partner doesn't. How do I make him see it's important? 3, my partner finds it difficult to apologize. How do I help him? 4, how do you manage a partner whose first line of action is defense when there is disagreement?
Okay, so basically I think it's all about accountability and apology in this case. Accountability is very important. The first 3 questions, I think the first 2-3 questions were all around accountability. The first thing about marriage and accountability is this. Look at it this way. Every lake stinks. Most lakes stinks. Am I correct? Once a body of water does not have room for outlet and inflow, over time it's going to start stinking. Is that okay? So the same thing with a marriage that does not have room for the input of mentors, okay, and room for us to express to mentors how we feel about what's going on in our marriage. Over time, that marriage is going to implode. That marriage is going to have what to call internal failure, to fail internally, all right, because we don't want to talk to anybody outside. The reality is that we all are limited in our exposure, experience, education, and encounters. So it limits how much tools we have to fix marital problems. The best thing, therefore, is to make sure we have someone we are accountable to, someone we both agree that we're going to be accountable to, for the purposes of when we can't resolve issues among ourselves, we should be able to call the person and say, sir, we just want to come see you. Mommy want to come see you. We are having this challenge. Mommy, what will you advise us? If one of us is having a challenge with this, you don't necessarily need to point at each other and say, my brother, my husband. No, we can just come and say, sorry, we're having a challenge with communication. What will you advise where we're having this particular challenge? A little input from a mentor can shift your perspective and better your relationship. So accountability is very, very critical, not only to an outsider, but to also each other. Now, you are going out. It's just simple. Accountability starts with things like, hey, I'm going to the office and I'm going to be there until 6 o'clock. I'm leaving the office at 6 o'clock. Sweetheart, I'm already on my way home and I'm going to be branching another meeting. It's not that anybody's monitoring you, just for the sake of understanding movement. God forbid anything happens, how do we track you? Okay? So accountability is for preservation. Accountability is for personal preservation. It's not for control. It's not for manipulation. I think it's about the way people have seen accountability in the past, whereby people want to manipulate and control them, so they don't want to have any of such anymore. But please know that accountability is for your own good. And then in terms of apology, a partner that doesn't like to apologize, the reality is the partner may be apologizing, it's just that you don't know how the partner is apologizing. There are 5 apology languages. Okay, so apology is not just I am sorry. For instance, I don't like you telling me I'm sorry. If you've done something wrong, just tell me, Robert Sam, I know I did something wrong and I promise you I won't do it again. So for me, don't do it again. It's my apology language. Telling me you are sorry means nothing to me. Okay? So just make sure don't do that again. That's just it. Just don't do that again. So I don't need you to kneel down. I hate it in my family. If it makes me feel like you are demeaning human beings when you get there. I'm very, very sorry. No, just don't do it again. All right? So there are 5 apology languages. The likelihood is that the person you say is not saying sorry has been saying sorry. It's just that you don't know. Instead of saying it, the person may be showing it. For instance, there are some men that instead of telling you sorry, they know they have offended you. On their way home, they'll buy you drinks. They'll buy you gift. They'll buy you some stuff. Say, sorry, sweetheart, how are you? I bought you shawarma. But we left home in a quarrel. And you, your own, he must come and say sorry. Because that's your apology language. That's the way you understand sorry. Is that okay? We now need to do a study together as husband and wife on apology language, the way we did on love language, so that we know how I receive apology and how I give apology. So that I will tell my partner, anytime I offend you, if you see me do this, it is me telling you I am sorry. And then if you do something to me, this is how I want you to let me know that you are sorry. Just tell me you are sorry. Just tell me you will not do it again. I understand you are sorry. So many times when you say people are saying, they are not saying I'm sorry. They've been saying I'm sorry, it's just that you didn't know. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you handle issues with in-laws, especially when your spouse wants to remain neutral when issues arise? I love that my spouse is more supportive and help me understand how to relate with their parents better. So you want your partner to help you relate with his or her own partner, with our own parents. All right, that is the responsibility of your spouse. The spouse must have in the first place introduced you before you got married to the family of your spouse. All right, it is obligatory on you. It is expected that you would have taken it from the moment you were introduced to start building relationship with them. For you to be in a marriage and you're expecting your husband to now broker relationship again between you and your spouse and his parents, what have you been doing all the while? So it is expected that from the beginning, before you even came into the marriage, you should have started building the bridge. It is, however, different where the family were objected. Where they objected to their son marrying you. In which case, for a long time, maybe after the marriage, they were still angry and all of that. In which case, as they began to soften, you now want to start relating with them. Now, your husband will have to do the job of introducing you back, and please proceed cautiously. Don't just go in and open up
Just go in gradually. As they show that they love you, you unfold. All right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I think there's somebody who was raising a hand over there. Yes, ma'am. I think I'll just take 2 and allow us to go.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So I would like to take us back very briefly to the issue of sex and communication.
Yes.
And I know many men are of the view that, when they ask, they should get. I want to speak on behalf of some of us women folk that it's not, sometimes find out why you're getting a no when you're asking for sex. Sometimes it's not just that your wife is physically tired. There might be underlying tensions that are not resolved. And men sometimes, some of you, like to repair issues that require communication with sex. And it's not going to happen. If women, for most women, if you're not happy, it's not going to happen. So maybe sometimes instead of viewing it as she's just saying no, why don't you resolve that issue? And I'm sorry, sir. Receiving no when you want it is, you are not going to die. Yes, sir.
Eloma, come here. Well,
I'm sorry, sir, but
is that your husband by your side? Huh? Is that your husband?
Yes.
He has denied you. You say you are his friend. He said at this point too, you are now his friend. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. So there's that issue, and I think it's important to resolve that. On the issue of sex during menstrual period, I think it's a bit deeper and broader than that.
Yes.
And sometimes, no matter how comfortable you feel with some things, if your partner isn't comfortable,
yes,
I think it's fine to wait until the coast is clear, or until they come into that. Not when sex becomes, when someone wants it, you have to just give it. I think it takes away the mutuality in it, and it just becomes a service that you're rendering and a chore. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. All right, let's take it carefully. Madam, I want to take first the issue of, which is just a little flip that we need. You made a statement, and the answer to your question, to your conversation, is in the conversation itself. You said there's a conflict between us, right? And then you said some men like to repair the relationship with sex. But for you, you would like to resolve the matter first before we have sex. But for him, let's have sex and restore conversation. Look at it this way. I've shared here before something called talk, sex, talk. You've just highlighted 2 different people. There are people that when we have sex, dopamine must come down. Endorphins have come. We can now, it opens the door for conversation. Please, maturity sometimes requires that you don't insist on your way, both parties. For instance, as a man, if your wife says, let's come and talk, you won't say no until you give me sex. That's not matured. Talk, and then we end up having. But if we didn't have opportunity for communication before he came for sex, it is his own way of saying, can we get back to talking? But let's start with what? Sex. Whoever comes first to open the door for relationship to be restored, I think it is not wise to be insisting on it must be my own way of doing it. What you are saying reflects your preference. From what you are saying, I can tell that you will prefer we talk before we have sex. Fantastic. So you are a talk, sex person. You prefer sex to be in an environment where I'm talking with somebody, I'm having sex with someone I'm having a free heart with. Okay? Now, what we are saying, however, is that if you go to 1 Corinthians 7, you get to discover the one you are talking about, the sex you are talking about, is where I'm having sex with pleasure. I'm doing it because I just want to do it. There are situations whereby sex is a duty. The sex duty is 1 Corinthians 7, 3 and 4, where the Bible says you do not have control over your own body. Your body belongs to your husband. They are not teaching us that anymore. Your body belongs to your husband. So the Bible says you've lost the right over your body. As much as your husband has lost the right over his body. Thank God the Bible puts both have lost the right. Because if it is only the woman that have lost the right over her body, then the man has the right to sleep with as many women as he can, marry as many women as he can. The sad part for the man is that the Bible also said that he has lost right over his own body. Meaning my wife can single-handedly, this is where polygamy can work if you're a child of God. Because your wife has right over what, sir? Your body. So your wife will say, sorry, this body, nobody else shares it with me. The man too say, nobody shares this body with me. Okay? So what then happens is that when he needs his body, that's not the time as a wise woman. That's not the time to now start saying, but you know, we quarreled this morning. You want to touch me? Now don't touch me. My mind, I am still sad. It's not your mind you are giving, it's your body. Is that okay? So for now, ma'am, for now, he needs you, right? Please, this is a moment where emotional maturity comes in. What is emotional maturity? The ability to delay reaction. The ability to say, God, I'm not happy with what's going on with this, what this man did this morning. But Father, I'm a woman that is submissive. I have no control over my body. I give it to him. And here's what the Bible says. Whatever you do, now here, you do it with all your might. This is where grace comes in. You see, this is where you're going to choose to either be a woman or a child of God. As a child of God, you're going to say, Father, I receive grace to honor him and to serve him. Because after all, the reason why I want us to talk is so that we can come back together. If this is how we will achieve it, does it matter how we get there? Must it be talking to relationship? If he's coming with sex, if it will get us back in terms, won't I do that? After all, this one is even going to be faster, because one thing about men is that once they have that sex, conversation will just continue as if nothing happened yesterday. But your own, I understand you like to win the argument. We need to go back. Now what I mean, you want to sit down, can we go back? You know, in the morning when you were going, you remember the way you look at me? That time when you said that, this really hurt me. So you want to hear I'm sorry, right? Which is, yeah, I know, I can feel it. I can, in fact, from where you are, I feel it. So don't forget, ma, there's still a way to get that apology without having a formal meeting. Particularly after you had had sex. Oxytocin has come down, endorphins. You know how to say, look at what you've just done. You this guy. You just make me feel like a woman. You see, this is the way I want us to always be. But see what you did this morning now, when you were just talking and all of that. My friend, will you just apologize and tell me, otherwise tomorrow I'm going to close the door. You will not do anything in this house. And that's where you will hear I'm sorry. Is this sorry, eh? Men, am I speaking our minds? Madam, the Bible says by wisdom a woman builds her house. By wisdom. Everything is not aggression. Sitting a man down, as if you're in a classroom. In the morning, where you are going, you said this. And then we get into, no, I said this. And so in the end of the day, you know that kind of conversation, you are not guaranteed of what the outcome will be. Because the man can feel threatened, and just turn the whole matter into something else. But sex will always get the job done. And you will always get what you want. Oh yeah, my friend, see what you've just done. See this is the kind of husband I've been looking for. But see what you did this morning now, the way you were talking this morning. My friend, you owe me some money. You owe me some money and some apologies. And honestly, right now, you have to sign a check. Otherwise, tomorrow, I'll block the road. You now have. If you are not careful, I will even do another one now with you. See, there are ways. Isn't it funny, like I said, how do prostitutes keep the men coming back? Is it that the prostitutes are not offended? They get offended, but they have their eyes on the major mission. Is it that men don't abuse them when men sleep with them? One girl was telling me, she said, sir, she said, when I think of what I am taking, when men do to me for what I get, say, but sir, my eyes are on the money. I endure for what is before me. You are not a prostitute. Your goal is bigger. It's your marriage. It's your family. So God will give us wisdom.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hallelujah.